It's me again. Past couple of days have been interesting and unexpected. However, I'm looking at every experience as a learning lesson, and I find it to be something that could be described as educational. Let's see, how did it start? Thursday morning I woke up with a strong pain in my side that after a couple of hours it got smaller and more triangulated to a specific area. At first it was kind of the whole stomach region, and then hours passed and it got smaller and smaller to the point where I was able to identify that the pain was coming from my appendix. Immediately I assessed that I had appendicitis. The reason why I knew what it was is because I had appendicitis back in 2020, and I went into the hospital with the same exact symptoms of the strong pain in my appendix. And instead of offering surgery, they just gave me antibiotics. And in hindsight, I'm thinking that that might have been because I did not have insurance at the time. So they maybe gave me the most affordable method to treat the issue. So I did antibiotics and I left, and fast forward to now, 2022. I went in expecting just to get antibiotics. They gave me the option of surgery or medication, and I went with the antibiotics. Why? The absolute truth is, I want to be further along in this project before I delay myself for 3 to 4 weeks of working out and having surgical scars that, I don't know, I want to get like a good 12 months of, non-scarred tissue. Call it vain, but this is the project that we're doing, and I made a call. So we got antibiotics instead of surgery, mainly because I wouldn't be able to work out for 3 to 4 weeks. And yeah, for the past couple of days, I've just kind of been out of commission taking the antibiotics. And I guess that's where the learning lesson is. At first, when I woke up with the issue, I was able to assess what it was and exactly how to treat it, and I felt very logical and methodical when it came to going to the hospital and getting it checked out and getting the proper medication for it. But the minute that I started canceling work obligations and changing my weekend to accommodate for this new issue, I observed myself regressing to a younger version of me that basically was existing prior to going full swing with this project, setting up my new business, establishing myself as a personal brand, all of that. The entire project, I just went back 5 years. And I got to observe myself. I watched myself eat food and stay in bed and watch television, specifically the show on Netflix called Cyberpunk Edge Runners, which is actually a really good show for people who are into anime and cyberpunk stuff. It was good. But yeah, it was interesting to watch myself for the past 48 hours and just observe how quickly or how easily it was for me to revert back into the simple pleasures of life, which is really, for me, consisting of entertainment, cheap entertainment, and food, which honestly can be classified as cheap entertainment in my opinion. Took a walk just now, took a shower, shaved my face, and I feel more clear-headed, finally. I feel kind of dehydrated and I feel weird, but at the same time I also feel clear-headed because, I don't know, the thought that I had during the walk just now was that as passionate as I am about telling this specific story and creating a business for myself and this 10-year art project that I'm really obsessed with, I also acknowledge that the passion and the obsession is man-made, and that I just as easily could choose not to be obsessed and not to be passionate about my specific goals of hitting 5% body fat or becoming the peak form or the peak representation of what humans should be capable of, so far as how they look, so far as what they're able to achieve. I understood that as much as it is a passion of mine to succeed in those goals, they don't need to exist. And that I put them in there. I put them right in here. And it was a choice. And taking those 2 days off, these past 2 days off, and just existing and doing what comes naturally to me, which is just basically being lazy. Now it kind of comes into perspective that this is all just something I'm choosing to do. And when I think about the why, it's deep down, it's because I'm most interested in seeing what it would look like once it's done. How my brain works differently, the thoughts that occur in my head, my reality, how that is now different as a result of being consistent and putting in the proper amount of effort to actually see your dreams actualized in reality. I've got to see what that looks like. Otherwise, the alternative is just living every day similar to the past 2 days, where you are unambitious and not really driven to do anything with your life other than the bare minimum, which is one way of living. But I just find that if the highest percentage of people are already doing that, it's not interesting to me, and it's just not stimulating. So I had fun for the past 2 days, not really thinking about anything and just existing. It was pleasant, but that's over now. And I feel like I have to make up for lost time. I feel like I've gained weight. But that's all good, because the experience has sobered me. I feel like 90% again. I'll get back to 100 in a couple days once the antibiotics do more of their job and I get more used to the side effects of them. But yeah, interesting. It was an interesting past couple of days. All right, that's all I got.